Hello, hello. Welcome to the Hidden Forest. I'm Rev, and today we'll be going after Veeshan's Peak, which is a Tier 6 difficulty raid target. It is guild instanced, and we will be going after the 5 main dragons and then the boss, Phara Dar. There's a number of minis along the way. We'll go over strategy on each one. This is a fantastic zone. It's a lot of fun. And it screams epic, just like you would hope it would be for a king tier level dragon den. As usual, I will be taking my normal 12 group or 12 tune raid, and we will go ahead and get started. I want to mention as we go some things about how to get here. The first one being that there's a key. There's a quest that you will be picking up pieces for ever since tier 1. And let's go ahead and buff. They're called the pieces of truth or the parts of truth, and you'll want to pick them up. There's a quest for on the wiki, a walkthrough on what you needed to get. There's some additional pieces that will be needed to pick up from other lower tier raids, such as the Koidoken drop in Temple of Veeshan. And then I want to also mention that this is the tier where we get our massive gear update. I mentioned in the tier 3 video that this is where we want to save up all of our platinum for, because each of the tunes costs 60k to load up. All of the visible armor pieces, except for the arms and gloves, I believe, can be found here. And they require gem drops off of all of the trash mobs in the zone, and then there's molds that drop off of the bosses. And then you'll need to go through collecting all of those. And going to that rock right out there, this guy here. Mob's not drawing, but there's a... Oh, look, a bad guy. Look at him. There's a goblin out there that will do the quest turn-ins for all of the armor and sell you the pieces that you need for the 60k. It's a 10k per item. All right. And let's just run in here. Most of the fights in this zone are very standard tank and spank type affairs, but what you'll notice is that almost all of them have the added spice of some sort of ads. The ranger's already doing her thing. Where did she go? She's in the lava. This is my shocked face. Swimming, swimming, swimming. There she is. I joke about it, but it's all truth. So the bad guy for this area is not drawing yet. Sits over here in the corner. The fight itself is relatively easy, but you've got to keep in mind that this boss will knock you down. And so if your tank gets knocked down, then you're going to have some fun added aggro component to the fight. You can just hit the sit button to stand back up. Let's go ahead and macro that. Or at least move it down somewhere easier to click. Alright. So there's the boss. He's got 2 ads that come in with him, and then when he dies, about 15 mobs come running at you real fast, and if you don't AE taunt them at the right time, they'll start eating clerics. Alright, so for this one, we'll just pop defensive, start taunting. And I'm sitting. Sit. Alright. Got the AE taunt off. And once that happens, and they're attacking me and not doing anything, then you start picking them off one at a time. It's very easy. Almost all of the mini bosses in this zone will have the same pattern. They die, a bunch of things spawn and attack you. One of the things, aside from buying armor in this zone, one of the things that you'll get that are absolutely important is a big update to your AUG collection. So this is stuff to put in your brand new armor. Save it up on all your piece or all your characters. Every one of the minis and main bosses drops some sort of AUG, and it is valuable for all armor. Got these guards at the top of the bridge. And once we get over the bridge, we're going to have another swarm fight. It's a recurring theme in the zone. Kill these things slightly slower than usual because I'm only bringing my 2 groups. Usually my Beast Lord is in here and adds a nice flavor of DPS. But I just wanted to try it with 2. And here we go. If you pop 1 AE taunt, there's no reason these guys should go after your healers or anything. Except apparently the ranger drew aggro. Remember to loot all of this stuff. I'm not going to for brevity's sake, but all of this stuff can drop augments. You can make a very lucrative pass through this zone. I still recommend doing it multiple times, like with each raid tier, but that's mostly because of the dragon drops. You'll never guess what happened. The ranger jumped in the lava. So at the top of this ramp is Silverwing. Silverwing is a fun fight. It can go south pretty fast if strategy is not used. And it's got a wandering guard mob, this royal guard. And this guard spawns, I believe, on a 5-minute timer. So you can't just set up camp here and get ready to go. And then up at the top of this next ramp, there's another dragon, which is also a nice ad fight. My bad. So there's Silverwing. But we're going to go take care of the upper one first. Because of the ads that spawn in this fight, I often lose one or two tunes. But it's not that big of a deal. Let's rebuff. So this mob is rooted. You can belly tank as needed. Keep your guys at max melee distance. And you'll see a bunch of mobs that are rooted around him. Those mobs are frozen in place until... Mallow, really? Okay. Until the dragon gets down to a certain health level. At that point, you need to... The second they unfreeze, running around grabbing aggro real quick while letting your off tank hold the dragon is probably the best strategy. All right, here we go. There's the frozen mobs. Let's stop them here outside of melee range. Get up here. Hoshkar has a pet. Go ahead and have your guys dispatch the pet. Let's go ahead and call some debuffs. And then get the burns going. Stay under the belly as best you can. Not going to go full burn on this one because I'm going to save that for Silverwing. Alright, come on, right here. Got him. So, all of my tunes for some reason ignored my ad request, but they did go ahead and take out Hoshkar. Let's retaunt. Don't think we lost anybody. You'll notice Celine keeps getting aggro on all these. That's the monk. That's how I prefer things. Any and all trash, I want to get aggroed on her while I work on bosses. This becomes important in Plane of Fear, especially when you're taking on the demis, because the demis will death touch, and I like to have the monk holding as much aggro as possible. She's tough. Definitely noticing the lack of the Beast Lord here. Where is he? Ah, trying to go after the soft ones. Got it. Sneaky, sneaky. Alright. Nobody down. So here we've got the magic box, which isn't what you use to combine. The medium one, I think, is what you use to combine gloves, or gloves and helmet. Got your helm mold. And then your normal drops, which, if you go through here a couple of times, a lot of the quest pieces may not be necessary, because a lot of this stuff is as good or better because it's got a good clicky presence. This is very similar to the Temple of Veeshan from that standpoint. So what you'll need is a helm mold, you'll need a container, and then 3 gems. So helms, I think, are sapphires, but I can't remember correctly. There's a recipe list on the wiki. Go take a look. I'm going to go kill the Royal Guard again and then get ready for the Silverwing fight. Now, the Royal Guard is a bit of a fun little addition to this whole mess, because where I keep my casters is where he patrols. So we need to move quickly on this one. So let's heal up. And group 2. Heal up. Alright. So we're going to just go straight for it. Bring everybody down here. I parked the casters. The shaman really going to do this? So park the casters on the other side of this little notch here to avoid the AE, because Silverwing has 2 quirks to her which make her difficult. Him, her. Keep in mind with the dragons, I use the pronouns interchangeably. With this one, not only does she gravity flux everybody around, but at regular intervals she'll spawn adds. So it is imperative that the ads get aggroed as fast as possible, because they will go straight for the casters. Alright, so we're going to pop defensive, and we're going to start taunting her all the way over here. Let's get her just in healing range, and then get your back against the wall because of that. Call in the troops. Wow, having a great time with this one. And the protectors are over here trying to go to town on my... Beat them up. This is not the only set of them. They will be back. But let's get back on the dragon. Quick burns. No. Alright, I got the taunt off. When I went for the burns, the mob spawned right away. So I wasn't able to get my taunt off immediately, but they stayed close enough that I was able to get them. So let's just burn Silverwing down now. Clean up the trash. I have to say that was actually a really sloppy fight. This is something you should be able to do without that much trouble. Card from the king. Good belt. I wore this for quite a while on my tank, as a matter of fact. No, okay. So, note to everybody out there that's going through here. All of your... Wait a second. Guard. Get away from my softies. Jeez. A little peace and quiet looting the dead dragon. Now, before I was interrupted, the staff, Sarnak Channeler's staff, has a massive pet buff. I recommend that every pet class has one, including the Shadow Knights and the Druids and whatnot. It is a wonderful, wonderful buff. Small bag, probably, I think, used for bracers. As bracer mold, so this would be enough with the gems to get a bracer. Not bad. That's one bracer. Alright, now some boring stuff. It's 2 dragons down, 3 to go. Before the boss, anyway. Everybody following. This is a safe area. You can heal, med, whatever you need to right here. There will be no wanderers, so make use of it. Once you get up to the top here, you clear out some Ragnars, and then there's going to be another fight that has ads at the end. Looks like a big butterfly. Easier if you can get the trash out of the way. There it is. You guys tank the ad. No more knockdowns or anything, so it's pretty easy. You just gotta be ready with that taunt at the end of the fight. I have two AE taunts that are easy to get to. Got the Beholder's Gaze, and you've got the Dark Ice Earring. So there's no reason why this should be a dangerous fight. Except for when you accidentally right-click your spell gem and unmem the spell. That's a peak rev action right there. Anyway, mop up the junk here. And we'll try to get through the easy stuff as fast as possible. Get to the interesting things. Let's mem that. Beholder's Gaze, rigging. There it is. Alright. So we're going to go through a large section of yard trash. Remember to kill it all and keep all the gems and everything for your quest. There's an emerald there. One thing I've got to note about this zone, may have said it earlier, but there are 5 dragons that we're killing. Silverwing, Hoshkar, and then the 3 in the upper chamber. If you don't kill them, they will come help in the fight against Phara Dar, and they won't help you. I promise. It's not really important to worry about building aggro down here unless you have a big pull. At the top of this ramp, I'll probably pull 5 or 6 at once. Aside from that, it's really just dealing with the trash mobs. I have to say there is a bit of a, we'll call it EverQuest special pathing in the route to the upper chamber. You can aggro some of the little drake mobs, and they will fly around the entire room to get to you, going like backwards. So there's a chance, and I would say probably 30%, where you sit there and do a taunt pull on a mob and you'll end up getting about 20. So just be ready to have that AE taunt going, because none of them should be enough to kill you. The Necro stopped moving. Ads shouldn't hurt. Nothing in here really should be able to kill you. I mean, the question is, are you coming in doing things the way that I did them, where all of my gear was essentially the tier 3 base with the tier 5 augs, and then supplemented with various event gear, some tier 8, tier 9 stuff. I was probably under geared coming into this zone, but things worked out. I focused all of my gear on my tank, which is kind of what matters here, as we are not quite to the level of big scripted fights. So tanking can save you a lot and get you further along than you probably should be. It's why I got through tier 2 as fast as I did. I thought it was kind of fun to just say, hey, let's go after the mob of tier, or the boss of tier 2, and I killed him. I don't know how, but my tank stayed alive. Yeah, come on, everybody. Join the fight. It's a party. Lots of goodness here. All kinds of augs and everything. You just load up. Everything's carrying gems, in theory. Now, if everybody hasn't, by the time you've gotten here, I keep a spreadsheet of all of my items and augs and who's got what, so I was able to know exactly how many of each of the gems I needed for everything, and that, I think, saved me some time. I don't think I mentioned, but when it comes to the tier 6 armor set, the ancient armor, the gloves and the arms are found in the Plane of Fear. They're not found here in Veeshan's Peak. There's a couple of quest items that you're going to need to do in Plane of Fear, including killing Khazak Thul, which is required to finish the tier anyway, so it's pretty easy. I think you only get 3 tokens off of Khazak, so you've got to go through the zone a number of times. Fear is a lot of fun. Mostly because Gravity Flux is just a party on its own. Alright. Nothing down there that we need to worry about. Keep going through the trash. We're moving pretty good speed. We're almost to the upper dragon chamber. We're going to go through at least 2 demis up here, or 2 minis. So this is the one right here that if you do a taunt pull, you may get a whole bunch. So let's see what happens. Only 3. Oh, yep, here they come. Makes it easy. Save some time. Don't have to walk around to fight them. They come to you. So I can point out what's happening here in a second once we take care of all this stuff. Keep up the aggro. Doesn't really matter. They won't hurt anybody else. Alright. So this whole area here is filled with mobs. And what happened was we aggroed this one. The one behind it aggroed and came up and around to get to us. And there's a whole stack of mobs there that they brought with. Up there, straight ahead, is the entrance to the maze to get to Phara Dar. It's got a couple of things in it, including a really nasty demi, who is actually, I think, kind of harder than Phara Dar. It's such a fun zone. Y'all with me? One more. Oh, hey, sweet. Wasn't gonna pull them yet, but why not? Save me some more time. And done. 2 gems, 1 mob. Not bad. Alright. I'm not gonna bother buffing for these fights. The only difficulty about them is that when the boss dies, more little mobs spawn. But we've already shown that that's not exactly a game changer. Not even much required to build aggro. Just burn them down. Not using any abilities, not using anything, just DPS and clicky nukes from the casters. And we got aggro. I still don't understand why my casters keep taking their clothes off. They all have robes, I promise. We're going to bypass Elder Ekron. There's no reason necessarily to go fight it beyond drops that we don't need right now. It's the exact same kind of fight that we just had. You burn it down and then some mobs spawn. That's it. No big deal. Same is going to happen with this one. Still no need for extra nukes or anything. Just standard old DPS. Let them let the monk tank. And hit. There we go. So what I really need to do is set my casters up with AE spells and have them just blast these things the second they spawn. But we're being conventional. This is a little bit more difficult when you come in here with tier 3 armor, like I said, because if you don't grab that aggro, your casters will die immediately. Now I want to mention the thing about the Augs. Tier 1, or slot 1, is relatively hard to find until you get to the tier 6 things, because now they typically have a slot 1. So whatever you save up from here or Soul Row Temple, there's a spot for them now. And then you'll also get a good amount of tier 8 Augs in Plane of Fear. There's some really good tier 8 Augs, or tier 6 slot 8 Augs in Fear. Alright, anybody that raided here back in the day, this area up here should be recognizable. This is the safe hall, the safe area where you can buff up before the fight of the 3 dragons. Each of these doors that's ahead here has a dragon behind it and 1 guardian in front of it. There's a little bit of extra stuff that goes on in the middle. There's some maze type things, some standard click drawbridge, etc. So anyway, let's just go ahead and clear some of this stuff out. I believe it's this one or one of the next ones that will, upon dying, duplicate itself. Be aware. Don't go straight into looting while the duplicate goes after your clerics. Yeah, I think I've got all those, in a matter. Okay. Let's kill the protectors first. Nothing difficult about these, no ads. But they do drop loot. First time coming in here in tier 3 gear looking at these dragons, I remember being extremely intimidated, thinking there's no way that this is going to work. But you put a reasonable amount of time gearing up your tank, and then you use proper means to have healers that do their job right, and there's nothing that you need to be afraid of in here. The Watchers. I believe this is the one with the drawbridge, which, when dealing with bots, is always a fantastic time. Maybe hasn't been here before. You open the drawbridge by clicking the little head on a pike. Kind of a charming key. maybe a third of the bots will jump. And then I think my wizard might be the only one that's dumb enough to not do it. So make sure you click stop so they don't follow. Come back and clicky. I'm impressed. They're on their best behavior right now. I mean, without taking their clothes off, apparently. Alright. Let the festivities begin. Hey, where'd they come from? Oh, in the door. Alright. See, all these mobs are doing my job for me. I don't have to pull anything. It's kind of cool. A little bit of a lag on my commands here. I'm not sure I like that. Health Watcher, huh? Xygoz. Don't mind if we come into your little office here. Can read some of your books, maybe. Hey, look, books and treasure. Knowledge is important, right? All right, buff up. Well, Xygoz totally doesn't watch us doing our thing. I don't remember if there are any ads on this one, but we'll find out. We know how to handle those after our extensive practice so far. The only wrinkle to this whole thing is when you fight Phara Dar and you need to be outside the chamber to go clicky on an item so they doesn't get too strong. Alright. Defensive. Everybody can stop right there. Apparently I'm stunned. I'm getting stunned a lot. Fun times. Call everybody in. Let's just go straight to the boom. Get some dots going, why not? The ranger has made the dragon angry. Wave that bow around, why not? Yeah, definitely slow DPS, but that's okay. We can handle it. I want to say this is a 3 million hit point fight. Let me check game parse here. When it's gone. Two-hand sword. Lure flame proc. Cool. I don't actually have that. Give that to one of my bots. Oh, apparently I do. Good range items come off these dragons. I think I'm actually still wearing one too. Maybe not. Nope. Medium box. Boot mold. Very good. Now let's see. Xygoz was 5 million. Okay, cool. That was a decent amount of hit points. Three down, two to go. Oh, come on, people. Falling into the floor, huh? Okay, well, that's you do you. Now are they following? Now they're following. Alright, let's see if we can go back the other way and make this work. Otherwise, when all your tunes drop in the lava, swim them over to this little ramp over here and they'll be fine. By this point, everybody's hit points and fire resist should be enough that it doesn't make a difference. You can live in the lava forever. Really? Well, how exciting. They made it. Oh, come on, monk. Say, bots against doors. By far one of the greatest rivalries in history. Getting a drink real fast. And then we'll go on. Alright, here we go. What's funny is my bots can't get through doors, but these things can fly right through without opening them. So I think the only one that takes any sort of skill or difficulty to get to was the one we already did with the trap or with the drawbridge. I think everything else is really straightforward. If I remember right, this one has 2 drakes that are guarding it. Yet again, the flexible pronouns. They can be pulled out into the hallway and killed without aggroing the boss. Don't hit very hard, not a big deal. Must be an interesting concept from the dragon standpoint to watch its guards get pulled outside and, you know, murdered while you don't bother aggroing whatever's out there. You know what? Let's just go for it. I stopped my casters just inside the door for reference. I'm not going to engage my full burns again until I get to the boss. I think the next dragon we fight is the one that has the ads. This one was pretty tame. But get a good cloak, good earring. And you get yourself a bracer. You kind of need to come through here, I would say, about once per character that you want to deck out. I'm surprised we haven't seen the dragon breastplate drop. It's a good one for your tank. Yeah, no. Four down, 1 to go. Let's see how many make it through that door. I think some of my other tunes can actually use some of these augs, but where did, oh, in there, interesting. But I'm not looting as much as possible through here. So a pretty good aggro range. And apparently they have 100,000 hit points because that's my trigger on the game parse. Should raise that up to like 500,000. Tier 6. Exciting stuff. The tier is a lot of fun. This one is different than the others because... Oh, look, another drawbridge. Great. Because there are probably 5 different zones that make up tier 6. And I think 2 of them are required. I think you have to kill Khazak Thul and you have to kill Phara Dar. But the other zones, the Temple of Solro, the Still Moon Ascent, and Plane of Tactics are all a lot of fun. Still Moon, the Ascent, everything in there hits really hard. Actually, a lot of fun. You get some great items. The key to get to the upper ascent is actually one of the better bracers that you'll get for a long time. I think probably at least half of my guys are still wearing them. There's a axe, couple weapons. Temple of Solro, not 100% as or useful items, but it is a lot of fun, and you get to kill Fenrir's like cousin, or I guess Soulsec Rose kid or something. Sounds like we have a lore challenge we need to follow. And only the shaman. Okay, sure. Look, nobody else is there. Just you. Come on. That's right. Let's go ahead and buff up. When I go through group creation and all of the automation and everything, I will spend some time talking about what you can use to get maximum effect buffs, some of the spells that you can get in AAs that you'll need. Because a cleric with full healing AAs is quite a sight to behold. They can use a very fast cast spell and do a ton of healing with it. So that's something that hopefully we can look forward to. Hey, we're right here. Look at this. We're all holding weapons and stuff. We're not selling vacuums. Look at those teeth. Awesome. Alright, well, dragon gotta die. Aggro, aggro, and attack. And apparently we get ads that fast. Just take care of them like usual. Pop the AE. This is an exact practice fight for the boss, because Phara Dar at 80, 50, and 20, I think it is, drops a group of ads just like that on your head. Pop the AE. Go ahead and just target. Get your whole group to clean these up. Dragon's not doing any major problems, so there's a description of how to fight these with kind of a rating of how hard each one is on the wiki. I would go ahead and follow the strategies on there, but I'm showing you here how to kill each one, so this may be less intimidating. Passkey of the Elder. I believe this is required to get to Phara Dar's door, which is cool. Pants mold. The chain breastplate, not bad. I think my berserk or my shaman still has that. All right, let's go after the baddie. One, two. Oh, I'm so gonna have to ditch a bunch of these or dig a bunch of these out of the lava.
One eternity later.
And the question is, at what point was I gonna notice that my necromancer died? So we are going to run with a cleric back to the dragon room. What's really kind of funny is that it wasn't even in here. If I remember correctly, Call of Hero is not functioning in this zone. I don't really want to run my Necro all the way back out here because you have to get out to this zone. You zone into Skyfire Mountains and then you run all the way across the zone to get to the temple where the dragon will port you in. And I'm not going to do that just for the Necro. So we're going to go after this, or the boss with 11. Lava is so funny in this when you're at this level. Who am I missing? Somebody with an ice cream cone. Is it more? Oh, it's the mage. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Follow. The Necropet's gonna be missed pretty badly. But we got this covered. All the way back. And these bots are on top of their game today. Hey, look. Okay, well maybe she can join us again. Res stick. Hey, the robe's back. She can med up and cast her stuff while we're... Oh, she's gathering mana, isn't she? All right. Head on over to the door. Clean up whatever's still here. And of course she can't see me. Where did she go? Come on. No, she was probably using her gathered mana, which takes like 45 seconds to cast. Oh, she's just trying to get her pet. One of the fun parts about the automation is that you're able to select what type of pet you want, and the mobs or the bot will just sit there and cast it over and over again until it gets the right one. But I'm getting chain interrupted on my casting of it. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe now. Yeah, okay, she got it. Now maybe they'll follow. So the demi that I was talking about earlier that actually hits quite hard paths up to this area right here and then back down that hallway when possible. Clear the trash out and then fight it up here. Makes it a lot easier. If you have any doubts about your DPS, then wait until the mini boss guy goes back down this ramp. And clear it all out. Then I will stop all of these guys back here. And I am going to pop defensive. And we'll treat this one like a relatively normal fight. Okay, my Necro is still not following me. Burn it down. I think the Necro is volunteering for the stand outside and click the statue's job for the Phara Dar fight. Cleared out. So typically when I do a 3 group, I buff up everybody as best I can, and then I bring my enchanter out and have her do the clicking. I mean, she's decent, but when it comes to DPS, everybody else is better. And here's the door. Well, the first door. There's statues behind this door. That's the door to the main chamber. Alright, we're going to stop here. We're going to park the Necro. Behind another door so that she cannot follow. We're going to buff up. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Do a mob health report here. Nexona had 5 million. Druushk only had 2.3 million. And Xygoz had 5 million. For added reference, Silverwing only had 2.1 million. And Hoshkar only had 2.3 million. And I want to say from memory, which is not good, that Phara Dar has 4 million. Okay. So we're going to sneak inside the door and turn right and back against the wall. You're outside of aggro range. You can take all the pretty selfies you want with the boss. After this door is closed, I'll bring in the Necro, position her at the statues. I got the door open. Great. Okay. But what if I wanted to close? Alright. So. This is positioning between the statues. Phara Dar has a trigger warning, or a trigger that says that they are gathering power from the statues. When that happens, you click over to your whoever you station out there and click both statues a bunch of times. It may not matter. I don't know if it's good enough to tip the balance in this case, but coming in here with tier 3 armor, it really might. So here we go. Let's pop another defensive. And start the festivities. I'm going to do a decent amount of aggro on this fight because of the ads that are going to come in. In this case, I don't want the Dagron going much outside of my aggro. Man, that AE's wicked. Alright, let's bring in the troops. Everybody's quick burning. And spawn. Attack. I have popped my AE taunt. Gonna kill these and then go start clicking. Okay. Clicky, 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 clicky. Clicky, 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 clicky. Get back on the boss. The next spawn should be at 60 or 50. Looks like 50. Got the ads. Tank as you go. Nothing too difficult. I'm going to start my full burns. There will be one more set of ads, I believe, at 20. We should get there a lot faster. You proved me wrong, huh? 10, okay. The last one, and then take care of the last 5% of the boss. Dreadspire will have revenge, apparently. So, definitely take the token. I have not seen this before. I think my cleric wants that. Decent weapon drop. Nice haste item with overhaste. And then you'll get the chest mold. Exciting stuff. Just gonna have the cleric loot that item real fast. Cool. Well, this was a very exciting walkthrough of part of Tier 6. There will be 4 more videos for Tier 6. I will do all of them. Soul Row, a lot of fun. Plane of Fear, a lot of fun. The Descent is a extraordinarily difficult zone, and I love it. So we will do that one relatively soon. But we can wave bye-bye to the dragon. Dragons have better days. Wonder why all the other dragons get better rooms than this one. Make sure everybody gets flagged for the kill. And we can go ahead and zone out. Evac. Make sure it was here. All right. It has been a lot of fun. I'm excited to make the next one of these. I hope everybody's having fun with them. If you are, go ahead and subscribe, and I will keep making them. And we will have a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and tell all the ladies bye-bye. Bye-bye.